Calling wisdom. Today, we are in the second moon phase, the setting intention for the moon phase. Before you, we have 3 decks. We have the Oracle of the Unicorn, the Witch's Wisdom, and Moonology. And if you guys remember, I said that this reading was going to be based on our community poll. And I think I'm going to start doing more of these community polls. So make sure you subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Get our algorithms up there. We can really get those polls going. Right now, this is from 10 votes. And you know, we had 40, 50, and 10. Now, we did have a winner. However, the 40 was neck and neck. And the 10% felt like, what? The 10% don't matter? You know what I'm saying? So I thought maybe that's what I'll start doing, is in these polls, maybe I'll do more than, maybe I'll do 5 questions. I don't know. And then we'll pick 3. But I'm just going to go along with what Spirit wants me to do. Also, they had me shoot this in black and white because it is a blank canvas for you to paint upon. Also, we are in the dark moon, the second Aries moon. We are in shadow. We are in eclipse season. And we are in a Mercury retrograde. So, with that being said, I want you to think about each of these questions and look at these oracle decks. Maybe all of them are speaking to you. Maybe you need a little bit of wisdom from each. Maybe it's just one right now. Maybe you'll come back later and you'll be like, I was drawn to that one. I think I'm going to watch that other one now. Sometimes I'll go and watch a reading from somebody that's like a few years old. And I can tell that I watched it, but I don't remember which one I watched. And then halfway through, almost when it's done, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this reading, But it's great because it's just a little pick-me-up, to remind me of whatever those messages were from spirit, ancestors, yada, yada, yada. We are one. So in the description box, there will be links to each reading. There will be 3 separate readings. And the first one is the Oracle of the Unicorns. And the question is, are you on the right path? Am I on the right path? Am I on the right path? The second reading is from Witch's Wisdom. What are my special gifts? Ooh, I'm excited. I mean, honestly, when these 3 came together, I was like, even the way that they're going, it's so funny because technically this was the one that was 40%. You know what I mean? But the way this is going, it's like, how it's, tall, middle, small, you know what I mean? If you look at the size of it, it's kind of interesting. But it's even more interesting that the Unicorn Oracle deck is walking away from the Witch's Wisdom and the Moonology, right? Walking away from it, and it's, are you on your right path? I mean, come on. The freaking unicorn's walking. It's not a Pegasus flying. If you know this deck, there's unipegs, there's, you know what I mean? There's a lot of shit going on in this deck. But no, it's the Oracle of the Unicorn. Are you on the right path? Are you walking away from your path, or are you walking towards your path? We're going to find out. And I'm reading 2, Witch's Wisdom. What are my special gifts? I have 30 plus decks, tarot and oracle. But this is the deck that wanted to speak to us. So if you were drawn to that, 50% of you, you know what I mean? Because technically 50% would be here if I was putting them in order, 50, 40, 10. But no, 50% of you, what are my special gifts? Witches. Those of you who want to know, you're a fucking witch. If you don't know already, you are. And you're beautiful and you're awesome because witches are just healers. We come from the angel realm, or we come from some realm that they are from. I mean, I don't know if it's just the angel realm. I mean, there are days where it's like, yeah, the dragons have their stuff and the unicorns, or whatever, but I don't know. There's like this part of me, by the way, I feel like I'm meant to come back to have you look at it from a different light. But there are definitely like times where, especially when I'm working with all of them at the same time, where I'm like, oh man, they all come from the same place. Like, I know that we're all one and all that stuff. And, earth is blood and bone, but like soul, we're all connected and we're all the same. We come from the same place. But it's interesting to me, you know what I mean? That at least for me personally, when I work with them, it's like when I work with the 9, it kind of feels like I'm working with like the parental units, or like, seriously, like that's what they feel like. They feel like the 9 like eldest souls of the universe. They're so powerful. But then when I work with the unicorns and the dragons and the witches and the angels and stuff, they feel like they come from a completely different place to me, but are also part of the 9. So that's just me. Whatever you feel is what you feel. Your connection is different. We all have our place and our purpose here. We're all here to learn from each other and grow. And listen to those birds caw out there. I don't even know what bird that is, but I'm like, welcome. So you are obviously, whether you align with the word witch or not, that's okay. You don't have to. It's just a word. It's just a label. It's just a term. Angel, witch, healer. You're here to work. What are my gifts? What are my special gifts? You are here to work as a healer of some kind, and we're going to find out, because this deck, Witch's Wisdom, has a lot of answers for you. And in reading 3, blessed moonology. As you know, I was born on a Monday and a moon day, and today is a Monday moon day. In real time, it's April 24th, 2023. And I am of the witches 3. Yes, so we are working with 3 different like witch energy here. So the moonology is, which relationship patterns do I need to break? Let me tell you something. I needed to converse with the moonology deck yesterday, because I was like ready to throw everything in my life like out the window. I was just like, I'm so fucking done. I'm like, I just want to run away. I'm like, I don't fucking care anymore. I don't want to be in love. Love sucks. I don't want to be in a relationship. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to, but I was like, meh, like I was just like ready to fucking rock out. It was like my young me was like, where is the next fucking bar? I'm gonna go get me some fucking tobacco and roll myself some cigarettes and smoke weed and drink red wine in a cool bar outside. Like, I miss that more than you know. I used to love to go to bars and sit outside, because I can't really handle the energy inside of bars, but outside bars, oh, love it when you're like the nature allows, and sit in a corner. And I would just like fucking like, I would take breaks from my friends and go outside and smoke more weed, and I'd come back in and I would just keep ordering wine, and and people would come over and talk to me, and I would talk to them. And I realized now, like, every experience I ever had in a bar like that, it was always like these witches and fairies and like, like these demons and darkness. Like, we would all come together and have like a powwow of energy and learn and expand and grow from each other. And now I find that when I want to run away like that, I realize that that's just an old part of me that doesn't want to, face my path, because I know that my path is greater, and I know I have to be stronger and this and that. However, I'm still fucking human, and so are you. You're human here, and you're meant to fuck up, and you're meant to have mistakes, and you're meant to do all these things. You're meant to be beautiful and messy, and you're meant to have fun, and you're meant to make love, and you're meant to fuck. You want to feel, if you've ever had sex, this is kind of X-rated, but if you've ever had sex, you know what it feels like, to feel that deep, whether you are deep inside of someone or someone is deep inside of you, it's like that energy. We are connected. We are all energy. So when we're doing that, we're exchanging energy with other people. We're plunging into that access, that darkness, that beauty. There's so much going on there. We've been given these vessels, these avatars that teach us so much. But today I was stretching. I'm stretching right now in my chair. It's like, I started to stretch and feel good. I'm like, yeah, spring, I feel you. I'm coming for you, summer. I was like, I'm coming for you, next phase, next chapter. So it's time for us to look at the relationships and the patterns in our lives that we need to break. Okay? So I applaud you for being here on all levels, not just on this channel, but on this planet, for being alive, and for making your way here to this reading. Yeah, because I feel like this reading is gonna be fucking dope, dude. Like, honestly, like, I like smoked a lot of weed and I'm so excited because I'm like so connected to all of you right now, and you're all so beautiful, and you're slimy and you're dark, but you're also beautiful and flowery, and I just love you. I love this tribe so much. And you know, we are the witches and the healers and the deep down believers, and we work in the light and the dark and the shadow, and we understand. We know what it means to have retrogrades and eclipses. We understand that brings the darkness, the ickiness out of us. My husband and I, man, we like, oh, it wasn't even like a fair fight because I like went for his jugular and he just fucking sat there and took it. And, you know, and I realized so much about that too, like how we can really manipulate our power and our energy when we feel like we've been wronged. And even if we have, you know, it's like, as I said something to him, like, man, if karma's sorting shit out, I go, what about all the shit you did to me over the last 8 years? I'm like, if karma's sorting shit out, aren't I fucking hanging out with you? You know what I mean? I was like, all right, we need to like work on this spirit. Like, we need to like figure out what's going on, because then I signed on for this too. And, you know, if it is true that he's a twin flame and all that stuff and whatever, I was like, man, then we got a lot of work to do still. And we all have a lot of work to do still. It's not a light switch moment. I watched something recently with Pam Gregory, and she had on this fairy, which I do not remember her name, Magenta Pixie. Oh my gosh, I think that's it. Thank you, Spirit. And apparently they've written all these books. And apparently, have you ever seen the Apparently Kid? Oh my gosh. If you haven't, you need to look it up. Just go on YouTube and look up Apparently Kid. It'll come up. If you want a little chuckle, if the darkness is just overtaking you, go get yourself a chuckle with the Apparently. But seriously, apparently, Pam Gregory really loves this Magenta Pixie, and I really aligned with them too. I had a lot of epiphanies when I was watching their interaction together, but they were talking about how they speak with the nine as well, and how everybody has different relationships with the nine. And I thought, you know, everything they said was for me, was such a breath of fresh air, because I was like, yeah, you know what? It's true. We're all dealing with the energies and the spirits differently. I'm just a here. I'm just a here. I'm telling you. And you know what I'm talking about. I was raised by two Italian families. Anna and I have a connection. She's from Italy. I'm telling you, I was in Italy at some point in my life. I am telling you. Or at least that part of the world, because I just have this, you know, this very Italian thing. People ask me all the time, they're like, you are so visual with your hands. Why do you talk with your hands all the time? And I'm like, why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? I was given these little, you know, digits to like, you know, express myself and express, you know, my avatar. So, you know, there's just a lot of things that are breaking free. And what these two beautiful light workers were talking about was that I didn't even realize this, but apparently March 21st, which was the spring equinox, was apparently supposed to be the first day of the new world. Something like that, something in that. Or she was describing like the 20th to the 23rd, and it was really cool. And it hit me in a good way. So I feel like they're correct. And also I feel like that feels true. However, I feel like where I'm at right now is like kind of dark and fucked up. And I'm like, but why am I in this? If, you know, they're like, cause it's not a light bulb moment. It's not like a do, 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 do. You know what I mean? It's like new earth. Everybody's woken up. Everything's great. You know, no. It's like anything. It takes time for it to like sink in and like get into our flesh and our bone and our blood. It takes a minute. You know, our avatars aren't as fast as our soul spirit. It is not the same. And we are moving up quickly. That's why we're moving faster, because we're aligning more with spirit. That's why the energy and the dimensional energies and how we're splitting energies and dimensions, and we're seeing things and feeling things and going here and going there, and shit's getting fucked up all over the place. It's not just our dimension. It's everywhere. This is like Earth in general. So it's like almost like everything that's ever happened on Earth in general is like leveling up. but we have to go through it. And so I found myself in one of my other lives in another dimension in sleep time recently. It was so fucking vivid that I was like, holy shit. And I know when it's happening, you know, and I know when spirit tells me to smoke a lot of weed before bed, and when they tell me to, you know, stop smoking weed at a certain point in the day, so that like my brain can like really, like if I'm meant to go travel and work, you know, in somewhere else, sometimes I'm working there but they don't want me to see it, so they'd rather, because of my gifts and because of the way they created me, cannabis is my friend on this planet. It is absolutely purely my medicine. It's also, it's my upper, my downer, my, it helps my all arounder, you know, like I'm not bipolar. I don't have multiple personalities. I'm just a fucking medium and a channel. And if you are like me, like right now, my whole body's like shaking and the energies are working through you. You're not crazy. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just about realigning your body, your mind, and your spirit. Also, and I hope everyone takes this with the light and love that's intended, because I'm going to preface this by telling you that I've been every size from a 00 to a size 22. I've been every size in between. And I'm 51 years on this planet, 51, you know, seasons. And I can tell you, I've been all shapes and sizes and everywhere. But there are moments where I see these like voluptuous women, and I don't think they're unhealthy. And I think that when people say, oh, they're unhealthy, they're unhealthy, they're unhealthy, I think that there's a goddess spirit that resides inside of them, or a god spirit that maybe is meant to heal something throughout their life here on earth, but that's none of our business. However, I was very grateful to run across this video with Pam Gregory and I believe I'm saying it correctly, Magenta Pixie, because she is a beautiful, voluptuous woman, and Magenta Pixie. And I have been having a hard time, like struggling with like my avatar and what I want it to look like and what I want it to feel like. And I feel like I'm going through a massive metamorphosis in my 50s. I believe that our 50s, if we are so blessed to make it there, is a really huge transformational time for us, inwardly, outwardly, just on every level possible. It really does make you turn around and look and go, wow. It's because of the human thing of time. And time, they spoke about that as well in the video, and time is a man-made construct, but also it was put here for a reason. It wouldn't have been invented, it would have never been here if it wasn't here to teach us something, you know. And overall, thank you, spirit, time is precious. Every moment, every second is precious. However, if you are not aligned with people who do not see the world the way you do, it is for you to live by example, but not live in the shadows. You know, we're meant to work in our shadow side. We're meant to learn how to confront our shadow side, so that when shadow of others is presented to us, we know how to give love back without ego or arrogance or taking things personally. It's really fucking hard, because we were raised in a completely different place. Years from now, they will look back on us, you know, our children's children's children, and they will look back on us and they probably are doing it now. Oh, hello, fairy, little fairy just flew in. You know, holding reverence for us in gratitude that we suffered as much as we did. All of us before us, but definitely this time, where we're here to break the barriers. We're here to change this quote unquote norm. It's only normal because it's been going on for plus generations, but Earth hasn't always been that way. Earth has been a beautiful, magical place of all to flourish. This was a place for souls to learn, but we were given free will. The Bible and the Quran and all of these other works of religion, they were put in place for a reason too, right? To control, to have us look at ourselves in a less than format. And Spirit doesn't want us to look at ourselves in a less than format anymore. Because we are badass bitches, and we are witches and unicorns, and we are from the moon, and we come from a place that's magical. If you found yourself here, you're one of us. Welcome. And for those of you who keep coming back, welcome back. And thank you for the prayers and the contributions. It makes a difference. It really does. Thank you. Thank you for lifting me up. And thank you for making me stronger. For those of you who come here and you wish ill against me because you're jealous, you're not jealous of me. It's just because you haven't gotten to where you need to be. And I take that jealousy and I put it in my heart chakra and I boom, 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 send it back to you. I love you. I love you, man. I love you. And if I ever did you wrong, I'm sorry, because I'm human. I was learning too, and I'm still learning, and I'm still going to fuck things up and hurt people, not on purpose, but because I'm human too. So let's get into these readings for you. All right. You ready? You ready for this, you guys? So we've got reading 1, reading 2, reading 3. All of the information is in the description box below. All of my information is in the About section. And also, if you're so keen, go check out my other channel. There's a link there in my About section called Lula's Life. Yeah, it's fun. Go check it out. I'll see you over at your reading. Until next time, take really good care of yourselves and each other. We love you so much. Blessed be. Oh.